The second main component of the application is the ability to generate individualized attendance letters that can be sent home. I'll take you through a typical scenario. Now, it could be that in conjunction with looking at some of these reports, possibly this at the bottom, getting a handle on the attendance situation and determining that we're going to send a letter home to any student who's missed 10 periods in any one course. In this case, we have 98 students. We then go to the Letter 1 tab and work through the steps indicated. The first thing is, when are the letters actually going to be mailed, do we think? Well, November 7th. Perhaps today is November 5th. Next, we indicate what is the threshold. We're going to enter in 10. It's going to identify all students who've missed 10 periods or more, with the exceptions of 18-year-olds. I can now look at those students. I see the same data that we saw in the past, except it also includes a line that shows the mailing address and the parent or guardian name. Jumping to the end, we have 70 students, less than we had before, but this does not include 18-year-olds. What the vice principal might do now is, whether he likes to see data by name or age or grade, is he might print 3 or 4 copies of this report. It's a 3-page report, and then distribute them to perhaps the guidance department, the student success department, and maybe an attendance counselor. Those people would give feedback and perhaps indicate students that should not receive a letter for various reasons. Once he receives that, he could then click here to go through and deselect those students that shouldn't receive a letter. Then coming back here, go back to the report and verify that the students that he wanted to remove have been removed, and these are the students that really should receive a letter. Step 5 is a crucial little step. What it does is actually, in a sense, date stamps these students as having a letter 1 sent to them on November 7th. Once we do this, if we were to look at one of these reports, we'd see that for each of these students, in the letter 1 sent date field is November 7th, and that date will show on any other reports that we look at. I'm going to perform the mail merge now. So the first thing I do is I launch the mail merge document, which in this case is named absenceletter1.doc. When I launch it, I would usually be prompted something to do with the absence letter 1 mail merge query. Do I want to connect? Yes. Now it may jump right into the document, or it may first prompt you to select the data source, my data sources. Now what I have to do then is browse to the folder that we were working in and connect with the database that we were working in, which is Attendance DB 2010-11 version 516. Again, perhaps a prompt to do with the letter 1 mail merge query. Yep. And now I see a 1-page document with some special fields, at least that look a little bit different than regular text. There are the mail merge fields. If I click on this ABC View Merged Data toggle button, it toggles back and forth between the template document with the variable fields and a document here that has the actual data from the database showing. So here's Wilson Acton, our first record in the database, alphabetically. I can skip through and just see, yes, those are the ones that I'm looking for. Skipping to the end, 65 records, yep, that's good. Now it's time to actually create the 65 separate letters. So over here I go to the Merge to New Document button. By clicking that, merge all records, yes. And now I have 65 separate letters. I'm just going to zero in here on the first letter to Wilson Acton regarding Daniel Acton. You can see some specific data here. Down lower you can see the absence information, the same information that was listed on the report. Again, just jumping ahead to the next record, different information. If I jump back to the database, you can see again that same information. There's Daniel Acton and the absence information, etc., and Renee Acton. Just to confirm that what we wanted to appear on the letters did in fact appear on the letters. So within Microsoft Word right now I have two documents. I have my original template document, which is just one page. I can scroll through and look at the various records. And I also have the actual merged document, which is 65 actual pages long. This is the one I want to print. So at this point I click on the print button and out will come 65 pages, and I have them ready for mailing. Now again, to clarify, I had my original template document, which I called absence letter 1. When you perform a mail merge within Microsoft Word, the first operation within the time that you have this document opened, it will call the new document that you create, coincidentally, letters 1. If I maybe messed up a little bit and regenerated them within this session, it would call it letters 2 or letters 3. Now, getting back to the letters 1, which is the 65 pages, you can see them. You may save them if you wish, or may choose not to. Let's just decide that we're going to save it, and again browse to wherever it is that you have the database stored, and identify perhaps that November 7 letters, or whatever you would like to call them. So you can now close that document. We still have our original template document. When we close it, we'll probably be prompted to save it, and sure, no harm in saving it. You have your letters in your hand. Now it's time to print the mailing labels. Clicking here displays the mailing labels. Put the mailing labels face down in the printer and click print. They're in exactly the same order as the letters that were printed. There are 3 up by 10 row labels, standard in any business store. Now the last thing the vice principal might do is print out a final copy of what has been sent out. This report shows all of the students, the mailing address, and the parent or guardian name. This might be used just as a record of what was sent. As well, it might be used for feedback if any is received from parents.